Have we ever felt that spark of curiosity as we age, only to be met with misunderstanding or indifference from younger generations? In a world that moves fast and is deeply rooted in technology, this disconnect can leave us feeling sidelined, even a bit powerless. But we have the tools to bridge this gap, without sarcasm, without condescension. Today, we'll uncover 5 powerful insights to strengthen our relationships and deepen our interactions as we grow older. We'll learn how asking questions with subtlety fosters richer conversations, how humility and compassion can open doors, and how managing our emotions wisely keeps us grounded. By the end, we'll discover ways to connect with younger generations that respect our dignity and honor our worth, even in a world that sometimes overlooks the value of experience. Let's dive in together. The strategies we're about to explore can help us build authentic connections, sidestep unnecessary conflicts, and boost our well-being in this exciting new chapter of life. If you haven't subscribed yet, now's a great time to do so and hit that notification bell, ensuring you never miss an update. Your support truly matters. If you find value in this video, consider liking and sharing it to help us spread these important lessons. Now, let's get started. Number 1. Keep the curiosity, but ask with care. As we age, something curious happens. While our bodies slow and senses soften, our minds become hungrier than ever. We feel the urge to understand, explore, and connect on deeper levels. Yet there's an irony. Even as our physical world narrows, our curiosity intensifies, reaching for broader understanding and connection. But this curiosity, when shared, doesn't always find the welcome we hope for, especially with younger generations who are fluent in a world of instant information. Today's younger people, our children or grandchildren, grow up in a world of immediacy. Information is at their fingertips, ready in seconds. For them, getting answers is as natural as breathing, while for us, it's something extraordinary. And here lies a potential clash. Our questions, born of genuine wonder, might be met with impatience or sarcasm, comments that suggest we're outdated or irrelevant. A simple "what is that?" or "how does it work?" can lead to a dismissive "just look it up." To them, it's casual. To us, it can feel dismissive. So how do we stay curious without stepping into these traps? We can change our approach. Instead of direct questions, let's share appreciation or admiration. Say, "It's amazing what you can find in seconds these days." Or, "I admire how you know so much about this." These statements convey respect and create an inviting space for them to share without feeling questioned. This approach builds a bridge. When we compliment rather than ask, we show respect for their skills, which encourages a deeper exchange. Often, they'll be more eager to explain, to share what they know, and that opens doors. With this balance, we gain what we seek, knowledge and connection, without feeling pushed aside. Here are 5 strategies to keep curiosity alive in a way that fosters connection and respect. 1. Share your own stories. Instead of always asking questions, occasionally share a personal story related to the topic. For instance, if they mention something about technology, you might say, "When I was younger, we didn't have anything like this, but we had described something similar." This gives them context and invites them to share their experiences too. 2. Be playfully curious. Show your interest with lighthearted curiosity. For example, "You have to show me how that works. I'm still figuring out my phone." Using humor disarms potential tension and lets them see your curiosity as fun and genuine. 3. Ask for recommendations. Rather than questioning, ask for their advice or recommendations. "What show are you watching that I should try?" Or, "What app do you think is a must-have?" This allows them to share their knowledge while fostering a sense of trust and connection. 4. Express curiosity. without needing all the details. Sometimes younger people may not want to dive deep into explanations, so keep your curiosity open-ended. I don't need all the details, but I'd love to know the gist of it. This way, they can share as much or as little as they like without feeling pressured. 5. Reflect on what you learned together. After they share something, bring it up later. I tried that show you mentioned. It was great. Or, I was thinking about what you told me the other day. Showing that you remember and value their input reinforces that their knowledge matters to you. This habit builds trust and makes them more willing to share openly in the future. Our curiosity doesn't have to diminish with age. It keeps us young, connected, and vibrant. By adjusting how we express it, we transform potential divides into bonds that cross generations. In doing so, we remind ourselves and others that we are still learning, still contributing, and still very much here, fully engaged with the world around us. Curiosity, after all, is timeless. Rule number 2. Let arrogance go. We all recognize the person who enters a conversation with an air of superiority. But why does anyone choose to come across this way? Arrogance often hides something much deeper, an attempt to shield fragile self-worth. When we don't feel secure within ourselves, arrogance can step in as a defense, covering insecurities that linger just beneath the surface. Arrogance is, at its core, a mask. It's a strategy for some to avoid confronting feelings of inadequacy. Those who project arrogance may not feel truly confident. Instead, they try to convince themselves and others of their worth. They create an illusion of superiority, hoping it will hide their doubts. And when they succeed, they rush to claim all the credit. To them, success becomes proof of their greatness, a necessary validation to sustain their image. However, when they stumble, the story shifts. Rather than accepting responsibility, they find someone or something else to blame, insisting, "It wasn't my fault." By refusing to accept fault, they dodge the uncomfortable truth that everyone, including them, is fallible. This blame-shifting signals an unsteady self-image, one that cannot bear the weight of failure. Even seemingly small acts can reveal this need to prove oneself. Consider someone inviting others to dinner, not out of kindness, but to showcase wealth or status. It's not about generosity, it's about self-promotion. Through these gestures, they're aiming to prove something, hoping to convince themselves of their own worth by flaunting what they can offer. As we grow and mature, we start to recognize how counterproductive arrogance and bragging are. Boasting doesn't lift us up in others' eyes. It lowers us, exposing the vulnerability behind the act. The more we boast, the clearer it becomes how fragile our self-esteem really is. Humility, on the other hand, doesn't require recognition. It's rooted in a quiet strength, unshaken by the need to flaunt. When we offer without seeking praise, when we admit our mistakes openly, we cultivate a stable, resilient self-worth. This kind of self-esteem is unbreakable. It doesn't falter with failure, nor does it demand to be praised in success. Here are 5 ways to nurture the habit of letting go of arrogance and embracing humility in daily interactions. 1. Reflect on triggers. Arrogance often surfaces as a defense when we're feeling insecure or threatened. Notice situations that provoke this response in you. When you feel the urge to prove yourself, pause and ask, "What am I trying to protect?" Reflection brings clarity, helping you uncover insecurities and work on them directly, instead of masking them with arrogance. 2. Shift to curiosity. Make a habit of approaching conversations with curiosity rather than a need to impress. Instead of focusing on sharing your achievements, engage others by asking thoughtful questions about their experiences and perspectives. This builds connection and fosters a more authentic, humble presence. 3. Practice self-compassion. Accept that it's natural to make mistakes or not have all the answers. When you're kind to yourself about your own imperfections, you're less likely to cover them up with arrogance. Self-compassion grounds you, making it easier to let go of any need to project superiority. 4. Celebrate others' success. Arrogance often wants to dominate the spotlight. Instead, take time to acknowledge and celebrate the accomplishments of others. By openly valuing their strengths and contributions, you shift from self-promotion to appreciation, which reinforces genuine humility. Let us tell you a story, then you know how that works. In a small town lived a man named Luke, known for his bright ambition and strong will. From a young age, Luke was drawn to the idea of success. He had an insatiable drive to build something, to make a name for himself, to achieve greatness. His work ethic was impressive, and his ability to push himself became his defining trait. But as his success grew, so did his tendency to seek recognition. The need to be acknowledged began to overshadow other values, and soon his humility faded, replaced by a quiet but undeniable arrogance. One evening, Luke attended a community event organized to honor people who had contributed to the town. A familiar face, an old friend named Mark, was being recognized for a project that had improved the local school system. Luke had always thought of Mark as talented, but never quite as ambitious. As he watched Mark receive applause and genuine praise, he felt a spark of envy, a sense that he deserved such recognition more. But something stopped him, a small but persistent thought. The undeniable fact that Mark's work had truly changed lives. Mark had given his time, his passion, and his resources selflessly, and Luke, in that moment, realized he had been pursuing something quite different. After the ceremony, Luke decided to approach Mark. With a genuine smile, he congratulated him, not just in passing but with real acknowledgement. "Mark, what you've done here is incredible. You've changed things for the better. I've focused so much on my own goals that I lost sight of what impact actually looks like. Thank you for showing me that." For the first time, Luke felt a deep sense of peace. The act of celebrating Mark's achievements shifted something fundamental in him. Over time, Luke made it a point to celebrate the achievements of others in his community, from business owners to artists and teachers. Each act of acknowledgement brought him a little more freedom from his own need for attention. He began to learn that the essence of success isn't in the applause one receives, but in the contributions one makes to the world. And as he celebrated others, Luke found himself surrounded by people who valued him not for his ambition, but for his humility and genuine care. Years later, he would tell younger generations, "Celebrate the victories around you. Each one teaches you more about the meaning of success. Let the greatness of others inspire you, not intimidate you. That is where real success begins." In learning to celebrate others, Luke discovered a quiet joy that, in the end, left a legacy far more enduring than any spotlight could provide. 5. Use daily affirmations regularly. Remind yourself of affirmations that emphasize self-worth beyond external achievements. Statements like, "I am enough as I am," or "My value is not defined by others' perceptions," can reduce the need to seek validation through arrogance, supporting a stable inner confidence that doesn't rely on others' praise. These steps will help you develop a habit of humility grounded in self-assuredness rather than insecurity, ultimately creating stronger, more authentic connections with those around you. Letting our actions speak creates genuine impact. A thoughtful gesture, a quiet act of generosity, these communicate far more than any boast. Arrogance only masks insecurity. Real strength shines through when we are honest with ourselves, comfortable in our own imperfections, and open with others. That's where authentic confidence and true connection lives, guarding the present by honoring the past wisely. We all carry memories of past mistakes and regrets, moments we wish could be erased. But once we share those private stories, they stop being only ours. They become part of someone else's reality. No matter how much we wish we could take those words back, we can't unshare them, nor control how others will internalize them. And in doing so, we may unknowingly create vulnerabilities. Every time we reveal parts of our past flaws, we offer a potential weapon that could be used against us. Perhaps not immediately, perhaps unintentionally, but the risk is real. What seems like a simple confession now may one day resurface unexpectedly, coloring how others see us and how we see ourselves. When we keep reliving mistakes, it doesn't just affect our relationships, it can damage our self-worth, turning distant regrets into self-doubt in the present. The more we expose the dark sides of our story, the more likely they are to overshadow who we are today. Even those who care deeply for us can struggle to separate us from our past. Repeatedly sharing painful memories makes them feel all too real, reinforcing their hold over us. Realizing this too late can hurt relationships. No matter how strong a connection may seem, it can buckle under the weight of too much negativity, especially if it draws us back to an identity we've tried to leave behind. Learning to be selective about what we share isn't about secrecy, but about self-respect. We don't have to revisit old wounds to deepen our relationships. Instead, we can focus on the growth we've gained, the strength we've developed, and the lessons we've learned. This approach doesn't ignore our past. It reframes it, allowing others to see how we've transformed instead of dwelling on what we've overcome. By constantly talking about our past flaws, we risk becoming defined by them. Our past is a part of us, but it doesn't have to shape our present or future. Not every misstep needs to be relived, and not every story has to be told. Keeping certain parts of our journey private doesn't mean pretending to be perfect. It means choosing which aspects of ourselves deserve the spotlight today. We have the power to focus on our current strengths, our resilience, and our potential. This approach uplifts both our self-esteem and the connection we're building with others. It preserves the dignity of our experiences without letting past missteps weigh us down. Sharing more of the positive aspects allows others to see who we are now, not who we were then. Trust in a relationship doesn't mean sharing every mistake. It's about choosing what deepens the bond without risking unnecessary hurt. When we selectively share what uplifts and strengthens, we protect both our relationships and our self-respect. Letting our actions today speak for who we are frees us from the shadows of our past. We're defined not by our missteps, but by the progress we've made and the person we continue to become. By speaking thoughtfully and choosing carefully, we allow our past to empower us without letting it consume our present. The quiet strength of letting go. As we grow older, people say we start to resemble children, quick to anger, unsettled by the smallest things. On the surface, it seems true. Just as children may flare up over a trivial matter, we too can lose patience easily, reacting more sharply than we intend. Yet, beneath the surface of these frustrations lies something deeper: loneliness. Loneliness is more than the absence of company. It's a feeling of fading importance, a sense that our presence, our experiences, are no longer valued. When we feel unseen, it's natural to want to assert ourselves, to remind others, "I still matter." But that frustration rarely brings us the validation we seek. Instead, it often drives others away, deepening our isolation. We've all had moments when anger got the best of us. There was a time I found out about a gathering of people close to me, a meeting held without my knowledge. The exclusion stung. Questions nagged at me. How could they not tell me? Am I no longer part of the group? Anger grew. But when someone from the group finally reached out, they didn't offer the apology I expected. Instead, they asked if I'd been feeling unwell or if I'd grown too successful to attend. It felt mocking. My anger erupted. I snapped, "How dare you? I'm a former chairman. Why was I left out?" Then came the response that halted me. "Why didn't you check the message?" Confused and frustrated, I opened my messages. There it was, a missed invitation. My anger turned to shame. Without fully understanding the situation, I had reacted, showing my temper in a way that I later regretted. That incident taught me an invaluable lesson. In old age, we can't afford to be ruled by anger or hurt pride. The weight of these emotions is heavy, and it distracts us from what truly matters. Anger, especially now, is not strength, it's a burden. Children's tantrums are part of growth. For us, anger only eats away at peace, keeping us from the joys still left to savor. As we age, we need to let go of emotions like anger, jealousy, and greed. These feelings keep us tied to the past, focused on what we've gained or lost, the things we might have once achieved or missed. In truth, those things no longer matter. What matters is how we choose to live now in this moment, in a way that brings calm and contentment. Anger often rises from loneliness, from a quiet fear that we're no longer important. But we can't let that fear control us. If we hold on to anger, we let it rob us of our inner peace. The time we have left is too precious to spend on emotions that only harm us. Instead, let's choose to live in contentment, free from past grievances and unmet expectations. When we let go of anger, we make room for tranquility. We open our hearts to the present, unburdened by the baggage of old hurts. It's a choice, to be at peace with ourselves, to accept the world as it is, and to live with gratitude for each moment. That peace, that quiet contentment, is the gift we owe ourselves. It's a reminder that we're still here, still capable of joy and connection, and that nothing, no anger or frustration can take that from us unless we allow it. So let's let the anger pass. Let it flow through us without taking hold. Every moment is an invitation to find peace, to love, and to appreciate the life we still have. There is beauty around us, even in the smallest, quietest moments, but we can only see it clearly when we're not clouded by anger. Let's live in freedom from past hurts, open to the peace and happiness life still offers. 1. Release attachment to the past. Shift focus from what was to what is. By consciously choosing to live in the present, we let go of the grip that past grievances have on us. Remind yourself each day that the past is no longer within reach. It's what we make of today that shapes our true legacy. 2. Practice compassion toward yourself and others. Accept that everyone, including ourselves, has made mistakes. Embrace compassion as a daily practice, forgiving both yourself and others for past misunderstandings or disappointments. This mindset not only eases the sting of old hurts, but also cultivates a gentler, more patient approach to life. 3. Cultivate mindfulness. Take moments throughout the day to pause, breathe, and center yourself in the now. Let this mindfulness be an anchor, bringing your focus to what's around you, the sights, sounds, and feelings that make up this moment. This practice helps calm the mind, reducing reactions driven by anger or frustration. 4. Redirect your energy to gratitude. Instead of dwelling on what's lacking or what went wrong, make gratitude a habit. Each day, name 3 things you're grateful for, big or small. Over time, this redirection of focus nurtures a mindset of abundance, gradually replacing feelings of anger, jealousy, or resentment with appreciation. 5. Embrace growth and change as a source of strength. Remind yourself that letting go of negative emotions isn't weakness, but strength. Each step taken away from anger and toward peace builds resilience and inner freedom. View this as an ongoing journey, not a destination, knowing that each moment of peace enriches the life we have now and the connections we still cherish. The power of choosing positivity. As we age, health concerns naturally increase, and we find ourselves often tempted to dwell on them. But when we focus too much on ailments, our world shrinks to the size of our aches and pains. Yes, our bodies may be different, but our lives are so much more than a list of symptoms or doctor visits. Complaining can feel like a release, yet it often brings us down, creating a negative space that only deepens our discontent. Consider the gatherings we've all seen. Conversations dominated by ailments, prescriptions, and procedures. Back pain, high blood pressure, arthritis, it's a common refrain. And while it's normal to share, we risk letting illness define us, like we're patients first and people second. But do we realize how this pattern can cast a shadow on our lives and those around us? Instead, imagine shifting the conversation. When we meet others, what if we focused on something that brings joy? A compliment, a lighthearted story, or an appreciation for a simple pleasure. The warmth of a sunny day, the laughter of a friend. These moments lift us and those we're with. And in shifting focus, we give our minds the space to feel brighter, healthier, and more fulfilled. Positivity is contagious. When we plant small seeds of happiness, they bloom in ways that lighten our hearts and strengthen our spirits. Our emotions, especially as we age, play a powerful role in our health and happiness. Repeating phrases like, "I'm so tired," or "I can't take it anymore," doesn't just express a feeling, it deepens it, convincing our minds and our bodies that it's true. Rather than falling into a cycle of complaint, we can choose another way forward. Small, everyday joys are all around us. An interesting book, a friendly conversation, or a quiet walk. These are the things that sustain us, the bits of happiness that are ours to cherish. It's no secret. Staying positive takes effort, especially when health isn't what it used to be. But optimism, humor, and genuine curiosity for the day can redefine our experience. Today, many of us are living longer, and though health challenges may accompany us, we have the choice to live well and fully. Even with health conditions to manage, we can stay engaged, energetic, and open to life's pleasures. Our mindset shapes our world, and the words we choose can fill it with either light or shadow. Next time we're tempted to vent about our health, let's pause. Let's ask, will this conversation lift us or cast a shadow? Focusing on what's beautiful, joyful, or even just amusing allows our words to bring energy and peace to ourselves and those around us. Instead of a cycle of complaint, we create a circle of light. Living longer doesn't mean resigning to a life of misery or complaint. With a mindset that values positivity, we can face health challenges while finding fulfillment and joy. Let's speak kindly, both to ourselves and others, shaping a space of gratitude, peace, and happiness. This is how we fill our days with small but powerful moments of connection and satisfaction. Thank you so much for watching. We hope these 9 reminders help you reflect on the importance of keeping certain things private and the positive impact it can have on your life and relationships. In a world where sharing is often encouraged, knowing what to hold close is a valuable skill that can protect your peace and enhance your sense of self. If any of these insights resonated with you or made you think of your own experiences, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Feel free to share your stories or reflections in the comments below. This community is a space for all of us to learn from one another, and your perspectives add so much depth to our conversations. If you found this video meaningful, please give it a thumbs up. Share it with friends or family who might also benefit, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We're here to provide more content that encourages thoughtful reflection, personal growth, and practical advice for living a balanced life. Your support truly means a lot, and we look forward to continuing this journey together. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next video.